Round here, them guns get the last word.
Putting all the drama behind us, far behind us, let's talk about some new information, some new things that's happening. First off, we got to talk about this update. This update is update 1.07.00. And as you can see, in the update details, there is nothing listed. It only says what version, it only says the scheduled date, which is September the 2nd or 3rd, depending on what part of this round Earth you live on. Server maintenance states, and then it says update notes, please check the official website for details. So when you go to their website, there's absolutely nothing listed. The last update is August the 6th. This is patch 1.06. When you go to their Tekken 8 website, you see the same exact thing. Now, even though this is the case where we cannot see exactly what the details of this update will be, I do not think it will be anything major or significant. And the reason why is because we go back to the last major updates and look at what they say. Update 1.06.01 said, we will not be conducting balance adjustments. Instead, our focus will be primarily on addressing issues that arisen in the previous update. Now, if we go back to that previous update patch notes, patch 1.05, they specifically say right here in the future adjustment policy, while significant balance adjustments were made in 1.04 and 1.05, similar large-scale adjustments will not be conducted during the remainder of Season 1. Updates from July onward will focus primarily on fixing unintended moves and behaviors, addressing bugs. Before we move on, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. But let's continue. Now, Yoshimitsu is an absolute monster in this game. Everywhere you look, players are panicking.
Yoshimitsu players don't have brains. They have, inside their skull, there's used second-hand toilet paper.
Dragunov is also a major issue, and so is Alyssa. But so far, the developers are sticking to their guns and are not nerfing these characters. We're going to look at an overpowered Yoshi, Dragunov, and Alyssa for the next couple of months, and there's no end to it in sight. And I don't know how that's going to pan out for this game. I mean, if you look at the tournaments we have left, you can see there's only two. One on September the 7th, and then there's a major one on October the 5th and 6th. But after that, there's no more tournaments, and that's when we start to get into the Tekken World Tour finals and regionals and all of that stuff. And then Season 1 should come to an end. So that should happen maybe in November, December-ish, and then Season 2 begins. So we're looking at least 1, 2, 3, 4 months-ish of the current balanced state. Now, I don't know if this game can survive that long because the current state is pretty crazy. The way people are talking about Yoshimitsu now, imagine how people are going to be talking about him 2-3 months from now, right? So I think they should do something in this update, but they're not going to, right? Now, also on the topic of the future, Heihachi Mishima is coming this way. We have a tweet here from Harada-san. So someone is on Twitter and they're trolling. It says Heihachi gameplay trailer soon. Now this person does not tag Harada. This person does not do anything. It's just a simple meme, right? With a GIF. Harada responds to this and says, it's surprisingly hard to make a trailer. So maybe a video of me and Mr. Sakurai playing against each other, shot from a distance. How about that? Now there's some more tweets and stuff about Heihachi from Harada that I want to get to, but I do want to just say that I appreciate how hard they go on their trailers. So this Tekken team, they make the game, they make the music, and they also make the trailers. Usually, I don't know if Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat does all this stuff themselves, but the fact that Tekken does it is just incredible. But digging a little bit deeper, someone says, we'll take anything, Harada-san. He responds and says, well, joking aside, we will make a proper Heihachi trailer. Please look forward to the music too. Now, if we go back to when the trailers are taking place, I think the final two is pretty much everything we need to see and everything we need to know. So you have Punishment on September the 7th, and then you have TGU 2024 on October the 5th and 6th. If we pay attention to what they did with Eddie and Lydia, we have two characters to go off of for how they're releasing these characters. Lydia was announced in April. Eddie released a couple of days later. Lydia got a proper trailer, I believe it Combo Breaker, I'm not sure, but you skip all the way towards Evo, they announce Heihachi, and then Lydia released a couple of days later. Now, April, May, June, July, that's 4 months. 4 months from July when Heihachi was announced. That's July, August, September, then October. At October, you can see the TGU 2024. Now, at that event in October, I believe that is where the developers will reveal Fahkumram, and then after that event, Heihachi will release. But if that's his release date, where's the trailer? I think this 1 month gap in between September and October is it reminds me so much of Lydia, right? There was a couple of months gaps between Evo and other tournaments and whatnot, and they did a Tekken talk beforehand, so we got to look out for that. They did a Tekken talk for Eddie. For Lydia, they're going to do one for Heihachi. Whether or not they'll release the trailer before or after, I think Lydia, they did it before. They released a lot of gameplay before. IGN had exclusive gameplay. Polish content creators and journalists had exclusive gameplay. I don't know if they'll go that route with Heihachi because a lot of people didn't like it. They felt like there was no reason to watch the Tekken talk. And also, watching the Tekken talk was a lot boring since we've seen so much gameplay and raw footage of Lydia beforehand. So we have no specific guide on what will happen. But what I want to highlight is that when you get towards the end of October, you can expect great things to happen for Tekken 8, for Heihachi, and everything to be announced. Now, talking about these last few tweets from Harada, because there's a couple more. Someone was asking Harada for a Turkish character. You know, this is a common theme throughout Tekken. Some people ask for a Pakistani character, Turkish character. You fill in the blank with whatever region people want a character. Harada says, we have invented and continue to try characters from every country where every fan community exists. Individually, we have 2 ideas for a Turkish character in the past. However, these ideas may not work out for various reasons that fluctuate, such as timing, compatibility with fighting style, or market conditions. Only when the initial inspiration feels right to the end will the character be realized and delivered to you. We will continue to come up with ideas, and we are willing to try. Oops, for a reason I mentioned here before, I do not recommend giving the developers specific fighting styles or character appearances. And this is something that I highlighted in past videos. But there's another tweet here where he talks about a Street Fighter character, I believe. Let's see what this one's about. Someone says, Mr. Harada, I understand we shouldn't be giving you any ideas for Tekken, but I would like to put one Turkish fighter that deserves more recognition. Harada says, you know what? Let me ask you one thing. When I heard that information, in parentheses, oh, I didn't know that, do you think I would say that? Harada's a little bit trolling right there. Someone else says, more importantly, when are you adding Terry Bogard? Now, you know, this is a character who's appearing in multiple different games. He also has his own game coming out. Harada says, Terry-san travels everywhere, and it seems like a lot of work. So he's probably not going to do that. And I don't think Tekken fans want that at this point. Maybe like sometime in the past, but this guy's showing up in like Street Fighter and then Smash, and it's too much, right?
Yoshi players, you know, they're like eccentric, like talented musicians or artists that like piss into jugs and save it for later, you know? They don't usually have this kind of clutch.